You won't believe this, but last night I heard someone calling my name from a room that's been locked for 5 years. I work as a night guard at an old boarding school on the outskirts of the city. It's quiet most nights, except for the sound of wind hitting the windows and the clock ticking in the hall. But there's one place everyone avoids: Room 47. They say a boy named Ali Raza died there in 2018. After that, the room was sealed, and no one was ever allowed to enter again. I didn't believe in those stories until that night. It was raining hard, the lights were flickering, and I was doing my usual round when I heard it, a soft, desperate knock coming from room 47. At first, I thought it was just the wind, but then came a voice, a small, trembling voice whispering, "Please, let me out." I froze. My flashlight shook in my hand. No one was supposed to be in there. The door had been locked for years. But the voice kept calling, this time louder. "Please, I can't breathe." My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. Against every instinct, I took out my key ring. There was one old rusty key, the one for room 47. I pushed it into the lock, turned it slowly, and the door creaked open. The room was cold, freezing cold. The air smelled like dust and something metallic, something like blood. The walls were cracked, and in the middle of the room stood a single wooden chair. On the wall behind it, I saw a name written in dark red letters, Ali Raza, 2018. The moment I read it, the door slammed shut behind me. The light from my torch flickered, and I felt something move in the corner. I aimed the light toward it, and there he was, a boy, maybe 12 years old, his hair dripping wet, his eyes pitch black. He smiled slowly and whispered, "You opened the door. Now no one sleeps." I stumbled backward, banging on the door, screaming for help, but no one could hear me. The room began to hum, a low, vibrating sound that filled my head until I felt like my skull would crack. Then everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I was lying outside the school gates. It was morning. Teachers and students were standing around me, confused. They said they found me unconscious before sunrise, the keys still in my hand. I looked toward the end of the hall. Room 47's door was locked again, but this time the padlock wasn't outside. It was on the inside. And every night since then, when the wind blows through that hallway, I still hear the same voice whispering, "Please, let me out." They say a mirror never lies. But what if the mirror remembers everything you've ever done? I bought the mirror from an old man on the edge of town. He said it came from an abandoned mansion that burned down years ago. I didn't believe his story. I just liked the frame. Carved wood, dark and beautiful. I hung it on the wall right across my bed. The first night, I noticed something strange. When I looked into it before sleeping, my reflection blinked, even after I turned away. At first I laughed, Maybe I was just tired. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks. But then it started whispering, not loud, soft, almost like it was breathing. Do you remember me? I froze. I looked around. No one was there. But the mirror, it shimmered, like someone was standing behind the glass. And then I saw it. A shadow. A figure that looked just like me, but older. Its eyes were black. Its lips were smiling. I stepped closer, and it whispered again, "You can't hide from what you've done." The next morning, I tried to throw it away. I took it out to the garbage, but when I came back inside, it was hanging on the wall again. Every night after that, I stopped sleeping. I could feel it watching me, and sometimes, when I walked past it, I saw people behind me. People I didn't know. Faces I couldn't forget. Last night, the glass cracked right down the middle. I don't remember touching it. But now, every time I pass by, I can see someone inside, trapped. Their hand pressed against the glass. Their mouth moving silently, as if begging to get out. This morning, when I woke up, there was a fingerprint on the inside of the mirror, and it wasn't mine. So, if you ever find a mirror that looks too old, too real, don't take it home, because some mirrors don't just reflect you, they remember you forever.